5 starts.
Coming up next on Live at 5.
Just a chimney. That's all that's left of this house in Holiday after crews had to detonate dynamite inside of it. The home now a total loss. We talked to neighbors and officials today. We'll bring you the latest coming up.
How higher mortgage rates are.
And the snow coming up. All right, we'll see you in just a bit. Kristen, thank you. Well, a Holiday neighborhood is a little bit safer tonight after crews detonated a significant amount of decaying dynamite inside a home there. News specialist Lindsay Aird has been following this development today. And Lindsay, I'm just hearing this detonating dynamite inside a home. That's pretty incredible. Why did officials actually feel like this was the best way to handle the situation?
Yeah, Ashley, well, they tell me there was just so much dynamite. They estimate about 50 sticks, about 32 pounds of dynamite between inside and outside the house. And they say it was also really old. It was decaying and starting to crystallize, which was a telltale sign for them that it was too dangerous to just carry out. Now, take a look at this security cam video shared with us from the owner across the street here at Engen House Bed and Breakfast, where you can see the moment crews detonated the dynamite and ashes rained down. Our cameras also capturing that moment, which happened around 3:40 this morning. Now, officials say another reason they decided to detonate the dynamite inside the house was because of a combination of the layout and other dangerous materials in the basement. Neighbors say the homeowner's late husband was a chemist who liked to make explosives and had a lot of other chemicals in that basement.
And to get the robot to navigate through that and up the stairs would have been very complicated and dangerous, and even more dangerous for a human to go in there and take it out. So we treated the basement like basically like a bunker. It's concrete, has a roof on the top. We felt that was probably the most appropriate place to do that.
Now you can see what's left of the house with the dynamite. There's also damage to neighboring homes, some windows blown out for some, and the awful smell, what they describe as burnt toast for others. I'm here right now and you can smell the smoke in the air. Now some families were allowed to return home around 3 o'clock this afternoon, but they can't stay until a structural engineer can check things out. Again, I want you to take a look at this home behind me. What's left of it, just a chimney and still smoldering. Again, you could smell that burntness in the air. We're also finding kind of remnants of this explosion with debris scattered about. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll have another full report for you. We'll share with you just why officials had to detonate the house this way and kind of what neighbors were saying about having to be evacuated in the middle of the night. Reporting in Holiday for KSL-5 News, I'm Lindsay Aird. Ashley, back to you.
A day those neighbors won't soon forget. Lindsay, thank you. Well, happening right now, a major
new hockey team, then Holiday blow-up.
Yeah, dynamite.
Neighbors are scratching their heads after a home explosion. Why crews made the decision to set it off. Then be sentenced to death. A chimney is all that remains of a Holiday home after it had to be blown up when some old dynamite was discovered inside. News specialist Lindsay Aird joins us live now from that house. Lindsay, I imagine there was damage to some neighboring homes too?
Yeah, there was, Deanie, some windows blown out and some damage to some doors. Thankfully, no injuries, not even minor ones. But neighbors now starting the monumental task of trying to fix their homes and get back in them. Officials estimate there were about 50 sticks of dynamite in this basement in this now destroyed house behind me. And it was old and decaying. And they say that is why they couldn't just walk this stuff out. Explosion on purpose has left neighbors in a quiet cul-de-sac in Holiday still scratching their heads.
Who in heaven's name would store dynamite all over their house? Yeah, dynamite. Yes.
Neighbors now say the homeowner's late husband was a chemist and liked to create explosions. And officials say the dynamite was 40 to 80 years old and crystallizing.
Those crystals become very sensitive to heat, damage if you drop it or tip it over in a case. Bright lights or anything like that could actually detonate the dynamite where it normally needs a blasting cap or a det cord or something.
Unified Fire Authority's Assistant Chief Riley Pilgrim says there was also a lot of other chemicals in the basement, leading to them making an hours-long calculated decision to blow up the house.
And to get the robot to navigate through that and up the stairs would have been very complicated and dangerous, and even more dangerous for a human to go in there and take it out. So we treated the basement basically like a bunker. It's concrete, has a roof on the top. We felt that was probably the most appropriate place to do that.
Neighbors like Robert Eliasoff say his front window was busted out, glass broken, and garage damaged. Mike Maurer, who happens to be a senior advisor to Governor Spencer Cox, lives 8 houses away.
The house smells like burnt toast, but that'll pass.
Both got the alert at 1 in the morning. They had to get out.
My focus was we have 4 dogs and just some basic clothes, and that's about it.
They were taking every precaution, and that this potentially could have been really serious if things had gone wrong.
Officials now say they're grateful they were able to take care of these explosives before they went off on their own.
If we hadn't taken the steps we did, or if that had detonated outside the basement but not in a secure place yet, our worst case scenario was damaging 6, 7, 8 homes if that stuff wasn't properly handled.
Now, Unified Fire Authority, they're also telling me that it was math that determined how many people had to evacuate. They calculated with the amount of dynamite about a 3,000-foot radius and evacuated everybody within that radius. Reporting live in Holiday for KSL-5 News, I'm Lindsay Ertz. Deanie, back to you.
Boy, Lindsay, with all that volatile dynamite, it's lucky that burnt toast is what's left as the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's accurate.
A Lehigh family is happy to be.
Tonight, an exclusive angle showing the damage after a Holiday home is destroyed when unstable dynamite was detonated. Closer look at the aftermath and why crews were called back to this scene.
Plus, an Orem family running from the scene.
Neighbors in Holiday are trying to figure out what it's going to take to clean up and who is paying for the damage after hazmat crews detonated some old dynamite inside of a house.
News specialist Lauren Steinbrecher is live in that neighborhood right now with an exclusive look at what's left of the home. Lauren?
Deanie and Mike, so as soon as people got the all clear that what was inside this chain link fence area was okay for them to go back home right next door, the first order of business was figuring out what that explosion left behind as they got a peek into what was left.
Coming back to where they'd spent all night, firefighters douse what is once again smoldering after detonating dynamite discovered in and around a Holiday home.
That's pretty impressive.
Gary Williams, who lives next door and evacuated noon Tuesday,
it's scary.
Got the all clear to return Wednesday. It appears so far the explosion only damaged his windows.
Which surprises me considering we're actually the closest house.
So this is starting out with some basic cleanup.
Robert Eliasoff,
Both the side panes got damaged.
filmed a walkthrough for us of the damage to his home because the road is still closed off. Crews already boarded up windows. Repairs will take time.
6 windows need to be replaced. Potential roof, because when it exploded, it dumped a lot of debris, not only on our house, but it even made it further down in the neighborhood.
He and Gary tell me they've been directed to make claims with their homeowner's insurance to pay for this. But at the end of the day, they're feeling lucky.
I'm really glad that the dynamite didn't blow up before.
While also feeling for the woman who lives in the home now gone. Gary said she just lost her husband 2 months ago, not realizing the danger lurking in her husband's dynamite collection.
I really feel bad for his wife and what she's going to have to go through. I mean, having to start all over again.
And tonight you can see Gary's windows boarded up, the ones that were blown out by that explosion. He is going to have to pay some out-of-pocket costs, $2,500 until he hits his deductible before he's hoping that insurance picks up the rest. We expect cleanup crews will be out here again tomorrow as they continue assessing that damage. Deanie and Mike.
It was good to finally get a look at that damage. Pretty extensive. Lauren, thank you.
We have an update to a story we first broke.